Hey guys, Andrew from Seemu here, and in this tutorial we're going to look at making custom UI colors. So for example here, we can set the background color as UIColor.blue. We're going to make our own custom colors that we can then call from UIColor directly. So to do this, we're going to use something called extensions, which are covered in a previous tutorial linked down below. So to do that, we go File, New File. We're going to create a new Swift file called UIColor. And in UIColor, we're going to do import UIKit. We're going to create an extension of UIColor. Okay, now that we've done that, first of all, we're going to create two initializers. So you might know with UIColors, if you do self, just go back to view controller for a second. Do self.view.background color. You want a custom color with UIColor. You have to do this, and red, if you want to say 100, you have to divide it by 255. Green 100, you need to divide it all by 255, and so on. So what we're going to do is create two initializers. One where you can just pass in the 100 values, you don't have to divide it or do anything. And another one where we can actually create a UI color directly from a hex value. This comes in really handy when you're using Photoshop to get colors for the hex values, or if you're working with designers and they're passing you app designs with hex colors. That way you can just use those directly instead of converting it to RGB. So to do that, we're going to create two initializers, which we'll use with convenience in it. The first one is going to be to create a color from red, green, or blue. So first of all, we'll do red as an int, green as an int, and blue as an int. We'll also create an optional parameter, which is A for the alpha, and we're going to set that to be a default of 1.0, and the type is CG float. So that way, if you don't pass in an alpha parameter, it will default to 1.0, which means there's no transparency at all. And in this convenience init, we do self.init, and in here, we'll just do some brackets. Do red as CG float red divided by 255.0. Finally, we'll do green CG float brackets green divided by 255.0. Finally, we'll do blue as CG float blue divided by 255.0. And finally, alpha as A. Close off those brackets. And then after these, red, green, and blue, just need to add in the commas. Forgot to add those in. And we're done. So now we can create a UI color from the red, green, and blue values from 0 to 255 without having to divide it by 255. Next of all, let's set it up to initialize a UI color from a hex value. So if we do convenience init, and we'll do hex as an int, A for alpha again, and we'll set a default for that argument as 1.0 if we don't pass anything into it. Once again, we'll do self.init, do red, and in this we're going to do hex, two right arrows, 16 brackets, and 0xff, and comma, green, and we follow a similar pattern, brackets hex, two right arrows, this time 8, and 0xff. Then we'll do blue. We just need to do hex and 0xff. And for this one, we're going to do A and then A for the alpha. and that's going to in turn call this initializer and initialize a UI color with a hex value. So if you're not too sure what this is doing, let me know if you'd like me to explain it in the comments below. It's basically using a concept called bitwise operations, which is kind of a lower level programming. It involves bit shifting and bit ands. So I'm happy to explain it, but it'd take about 10-15 minutes to explain. So for now, you're just gonna see this as a magic UI color initializer for a hex value. So let's see that in action. Let's define some colors. We'll do static let Seemu blue equals UI color, and we'll do from hex. And to do a hex, we first of all do 0x to indicate it's a hex value. Then we'll do 00ADF7, which is the blue color I use for Seemu apps. Create another one called static let YouTube red equals UI color. Do it from the hex, which is 0xF8000. And we'll do one more, which is static let transparent black, and we'll do that as a UI color. The hex value for black is 0x000000, and we're going to pass in the optional alpha parameter as 0.5. And we'll do one more, which is static let red. This time we'll do UI color. From red, green, and blue, we'll do red as 255, green as 0, blue as 0. And we're going to change that red color to custom red, because UI color already has an inbuilt red color and we don't want to conflict with that. So as you can see, we can create UI colors from hex values and also the RGB values without having to divide them by 255. So to use these custom colors, we simply do self.view.background color equals UI color, and we could do Seemu blue self.view.background color equals UI color, and we could do YouTube red. Now you might notice the autocomplete might not fill it out straight away, so to fix that, just go to product build, and we'll just comment that out so the code builds successfully. Once you build it once, we'll see the autocomplete now has YouTube red in there, so that's how you get that to appear in the autocomplete in your code. Background color, we'll do UI color dot transparent black self.view.background color equals UI color dot custom red. So I'll just run the app now and quickly run through all of them on you to show the different colors on screen quickly. And I've just noticed the YouTube red color is off. It's meant to be 0x. I missed a 0 in the hex value, so let's fix that up now quickly and just run that again. Alright, now I've got the YouTube red here. Okay, so now that we've seen all the colors, it begs the question, why would you actually do this to create custom colors? Why wouldn't you just simply set them in a storyboard or code them in your app with RGB values? There's two reasons for this. Number one, you can create a UI color from a hex value, and this is a lot easier than using RGB values because you can copy the hex value straight from Photoshop, straight from any photo editor or any online tool, instead of having to do the RGB individually. You just do it in a one go, the hex value. Also, designers are more likely to give you hex values when creating your apps if you end up working as an iOS developer, or you currently do. Number two, it makes your code a lot more easier to maintain. You want to keep all your colors declared in one place. That way you can reuse them throughout the app instead of having to code it over and over again. And if you want to change a color slightly, you can do it in one place and it will change it everywhere it's used in your app. So by putting in the hard yards up front here, which isn't even that hard, simply takes a minute to set up, you'll save yourself a lot of time coding, make your code a lot easier to read and a lot easier to maintain. So you can download the source code for this app below.